Hey fam, this is Dr. William Clark here for Leadership Conversations. This is the show where we talk about leadership according to the world that matters to you. This is the Leadership Conversation show. I did say that, right? Yeah, we're talking about grants. We're in our 30-day grant challenge. Sorry. We're in our 30-day grant challenge. And I have been sharing with you guys over the past couple weeks, I guess now, some tips and tricks and thoughts I had around the grant writing process, particularly as we're leading up to the grant writing 101 program or course workshop that I got coming up on March 30th and April 6th of this year, 2019. And been providing commentary on some posts that I put out there. And this one is interesting, right? It says funders do not hand out grants like M&Ms. Funders do not hand out grants like M&Ms. Listen, and I wrote that thinking about the number of people that say, "I'm gonna start a nonprofit, I'm gonna get a grant, and I'm gonna do this program," right? And it's said in such a flippant manner, as if it's as simple as putting in a grant application and boom, the money's going to pop up and we're off to the races. I think that people say that and they mean well. Um, but I think they say that from the perspective of they've seen other organizations kind of say similar things, and they were able to achieve the resources. And I think that it's cool to have your as inspiration kind of developed based upon the success of other organizations. But what I do think that gets lost in the sauce is the amount of work an organization puts in to get to the point where they can talk about grant opportunities, and have a fairly high level of confidence in their ability to obtain the grant and to be successful in getting that grant. It is not because they say it out loud and it's going to happen out of nowhere. No, that's not quite how that works. It is because these providers have spent years. The leaders of these providers have spent years working on relationships. They've come up in the ranks, worked in the trenches with people who are in positions of influence. And as everybody has elevated in their careers, they have more exposure, more responsibility. And of course, when funding opportunities pop up, they're going to call their friend. They're going to say, "Hey, listen, let's go have lunch. Let's go talk about this." And so, when you might have heard that so and so organization is going to go ahead and get this grant to do XYZ program, and you felt like you can do it better, you felt like, why them? Why not me? It might have given you the wrong impression that funders give away money like M&Ms. They do not give away money like M&Ms or Skittles or your snack of choice. That is not how that works. And I'm hoping that that insight helps you, because while you have a great idea and while you have a good reason to do what you're doing, it doesn't take away it doesn't take away from the responsibility you have to do the work to lay the foundation not only of a strong organization, but it doesn't take away from the fact that you also have to be a relationship developer as a leader. You have to be the one on the front line talking to the right people, the right decision makers who can make a difference in your organization, in your nonprofit, who can influence outcomes in your nonprofit, who can add resources to your bottom line, who can be the difference between you paying your light bill or the lights being shut off, or you paying your rent and you having a place to work, or you're locked out of the office, or your ability to pay staff, and or staff getting checks bounced. And fundraising, grant writing is a relationship game. It is, yes, there are some funders you can write a grant to unsolicited and obtain money. But when you're talking about major money, major contracts, difference making revenue that can change the trajectory of your organization, That stuff in many cases is not done because of today I woke up and get this I'm gonna get this grant and we're gonna go after it and that's it. That's our plan. That's not how that works. It is based upon relationships. I should also tell you, it's also based upon a track record of performance. And if you're in a place where you're just starting out, there are strategies that you can deploy to get off the ground and to resolve the issue of performance or a lack of a track record. There are strategies around that. But at the end of the day, you have to employ or deploy those strategies rather. Uh, and you have to get out of the mindset of thinking that funders are just going to give you a grant like it's a bag of M&Ms. It's not how that works. I highly recommend you plug into our upcoming Grant Writing 101 program that's coming up March 30th and April 6th. And I'm pushing this thing because I believe that at that session, at those two sessions, you don't have to come to both, pick one and try on the waiting list for one or the other. But at that session, I'm going to do my best to open up the insight that's necessary to make the difference in the strategy you decide to deploy or help you think of a strategy to deploy that can make your nonprofit a reality. Your nonprofit's not a reality just because you went to the IRS website and you typed in or created an EIN number and got a bank account and all that stuff. Listen, anybody can do that. But what's more difficult and what's more affirming and uh, what brings credibility to your work is your ability to successfully land a grant. And that's where we're trying to get people. That's the step I want to see many of you who watch this podcast, who listen to this podcast. That's where I want to see you go. That's the next step for you. This has to be the goal in mind because 2019 cannot be the year you continue to act like being a boss is having an EIN for your nonprofit. That is not being a boss. I can tell you that does not fly here in the nonprofit world or any world for that matter. You can do that with a small business. You can do that with the church. You can do that with a nonprofit. Create an EIN number, and it still does not mean you have leveled up, so to speak. The leveling up process is the ability to generate revenue. So if you took a moment and look at all of the small business or business strategy podcasts, it is about revenue. Revenue is proof that you are doing what you said you do. It is proof that somebody wants what you have. It's proof that what you have to offer is desirable. It's proof that you are more than just talk. It's proof that you can do this full time, plug in and make it happen, make a career out of it. There are many professionals, many full time professionals in the nonprofit space. Why can't one of them be you? Why can't you be one of those people that is setting the standard for quality services, for winning grant opportunities, for growth, expansion, and all that comes with it? Why can't that be you? I think it can. I really do. I think that if you come to the grant writing workshop March 30th or April 6th, um, it's going to make a difference. And in short order, I'll be releasing my grant writing book. It's a quick read book. Is talking about the strategies necessary to get grants. You got to make it happen. I believe in you. I believe it can happen. But stop thinking that funders pass out grants like M&Ms. That's not true. That's a lie. Listen, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, or your favorite podcasting platform. Dr. William Clark here for Leadership Conversations. We'll see you in the next show. Peace.